Once upon a time, deep inside a jungle so green it glowed like emerald glass, there lived a little monkey with golden fur and a smile full of mischief. His name was Miko, and that day, everything changed. Part 1: The Jungle Prankster. Miko woke up each morning with the same thought bouncing inside his head. What can I do today to make everyone jump? He swung from vine to vine, eyes gleaming, already planning his first trick of the day. He spotted Zara the zebra bending down to drink from the cool river, completely unaware of what was coming. Quick as a flash, Miko grabbed a big leaf and splashed an enormous wave of water all over her stripes. Zara gasped and stumbled backward, soaking wet from her nose to her tail, her eyes wide with shock. Miko dangled above her, laughing so hard the whole tree shook beneath his little feet. Next, he crept up behind Percy the parrot, who was busy preening his beautiful rainbow feathers in the morning sun. With one sneaky tug, Miko yanked 3 of Percy's finest tail feathers and sprinted away before the bird could even squawk. Percy shrieked and spun around, but Miko was already high in the canopy, waving the feathers like a tiny flag. The whole jungle echoed with his laughter, but no one else was laughing with him. Down below, Ella the elephant had carefully set out a pile of her favorite golden mangoes for breakfast. She had been saving them all week, stacking them neatly under a wide, shady leaf. Miko eyed those mangoes from above and grinned the biggest grin his little face could make. He swooped down, scooped them all into his arms, and was gone before Ella even turned around. Part 2: One prank. Too many. Ella turned to find her breakfast completely gone, not even a single mango skin left behind. She pressed her trunk to the ground, searching, and let out a long, low rumble of sadness. Percy sat ruffling his uneven feathers, refusing to sing his morning song without his beautiful tail restored. Zara stood shivering under a tree, too upset to graze, her wet stripes clumped together in patches. One by one, the animals of the jungle grew quiet. Their laughter faded like a flame without air. The usual symphony of chirps, rustles, and happy splashing was replaced with a thick, heavy silence. Miko noticed the silence from high in his tree, and for a brief moment something flickered inside his chest. But he shook it off, told himself they were all being too serious, and swung away to find more fun. He tried to splash a family of ducks, but they waddled away before he could reach them. He tried to startle the colorful butterflies, but they simply floated away without a second glance. Even the river fish dove deeper the moment they saw his shadow cross the water. Miko landed on a mossy rock, suddenly realizing that the jungle felt much bigger and emptier than usual. He sat there, tail curled around his feet, tossing a pebble into the still water and watching the ripples. This is strange, he thought. Why doesn't anyone want to play with me today? Part 3: The Storm and the Silence. By afternoon, the sky above the jungle turned the color of a bruise, deep purple, heavy, and swirling fast. Thunder rumbled in the distance like a giant drum, and the trees began to sway and groan. Miko scrambled higher into the tallest tree he could find, hoping to see above the dark clouds. But the wind howled fiercely and shook the branches until he could barely hold on. Rain came crashing down in thick silver curtains, turning the jungle floor into rivers of rushing mud. Miko's golden fur was drenched in seconds, plastered flat against his shivering little body. Lightning split the sky above him, so bright and so close that Miko shrieked and lost his grip entirely. He tumbled through branches and leaves and landed with a soft thud at the base of an enormous root. He sat there, soaking and trembling, the thunder booming all around him like the jungle was angry with him too. For the first time in a very long while, Miko felt something he had never expected to feel: completely alone. He looked around through the curtain of rain, hoping to spot a familiar face: Zara, Percy, Ella, anyone. But the jungle had gone dark and wild, and every creature had taken shelter far from where he sat. Tears rolled down his cheeks and mixed with the rain, and he hugged his tiny knees tight to his chest. What would you have done in Miko's place? Tell us in the comments below. Part 4. A surprising helper. Then, through the curtain of wind and rain, a large shape moved slowly toward him. Miko blinked the water from his eyes and squinted hard, and could not believe what he saw. It was Ella, her broad gray back like a moving roof, her kind eyes soft and steady in the storm. She walked straight to Miko, lowered her great trunk, and curled it gently around his trembling body. Without a single word, she lifted him and tucked him close against her warm side, sheltering him from the rain. Her giant ear folded down like a blanket, and the howling wind suddenly felt far, far away. Then Percy came fluttering beneath Ella's belly, wings tucked close, finding warmth in that shared space. And Zara trotted up through the mud, lowering her neck until it rested against Ella's flank with a quiet sigh. They all huddled together, the very animals Miko had teased and upset just that morning. None of them had gone far. None of them had truly abandoned him. Miko looked at each of their faces, wet, tired, but calm, and something cracked open inside his heart. He understood now, in a way no word could ever teach, what his pranks had truly cost him. He buried his face in Ella's warm fur, and for the first time, his smile had nothing mischievous in it at all. It was soft and grateful, and full of something he had never felt quite so deeply before. Love. Part 5. The kindest heart in the jungle. When the storm passed and the jungle dripped quietly in the golden evening light, Miko slid down from Ella's side. He stood before his 3 friends, his golden fur still damp, his eyes red and honest. "I'm sorry," he said, and the words came out small but real, like a seed finely pushed through hard ground. "I thought pranks were funny. I didn't think about how they made you feel. I'm truly, truly sorry." Zara shook her mane gently and stepped forward, pressing her nose softly to Miko's forehead. "We know," she said quietly. "That's why we came." Percy ruffled his uneven feathers, then tilted his head and let out a bright, short whistle, the kind that meant all is forgiven. Ella rumbled low and warm, and it sounded like a lullaby rolling through the trees. That evening, Miko gathered the ripest mangoes he could find and laid them carefully before each of his friends. He smoothed Percy's feathers as best he could and splashed cool water on Zara, gently this time, and only because she asked. From that day on, Miko was still the liveliest creature in the jungle, but his energy went into making others laugh with him. He organized games, told silly stories, and always, always made sure no one felt left out. The jungle filled back up with sound and warmth and color, and at the center of it all was a little golden monkey with a very big, very kind heart. And if you listen closely on a quiet evening, you can still hear his laughter echoing through the trees, gentle, joyful, and full of love. If you love magical stories full of heart, subscribe to Storytail Kids. And don't forget to like and share with a friend who needs a smile today. Miko learned that the best kind of fun is the kind that makes everyone smile, including you. Kindness is never weakness. It's the greatest strength of all. Thank you so much for watching with us today. We love you, little friends. See you next time on Storytale Kids.